Hey everyone, it's Frazer Caswell from Mwave, and our Gigabyte rep, Alex, is back again with us. And today he's brought in a few new and very exciting products to show off. So I'm gonna let him introduce them to you now.
Thanks, Frazer. Hey everyone, so I've brought along some new RTX 3080s to show you guys what we have available in terms of features and models for this new RTX 30 series generation from both Gigabyte and also Aorus.
Alright, so these three cards here are all the Gigabyte cards, correct?
Yep, so we've got the three main Gigabyte cards out in the market at the moment, and then this is the Aorus RTX 3080 Extreme, but we do actually have 4 different Aorus models available in the market as well.
So let's go through all the models laid in front of us.
Yep, so we've got the Gigabyte RTX 3080 Gaming OC. So this is one of our more popular models with the previous generation as well. Then we've got a new model for Gigabyte. This is the Gigabyte RTX 3080 Eagle OC.
I actually recognize this card.
That's right.
We used Eagle RTX 3070 in a previous build video. We chucked it in the Intel NUC PC by Cooler Master, you know, the NC100.
Yep.
You heard of it?
Yeah, I actually checked out that video.
Oh, you watched that video?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good then.
So the Eagle card is one of our more entry-level options for RTX 30 series.
Okay, very nice. What about this guy? He stands out so much. I love the white. You know, I want to build an all-white system. Definitely use something like that.
Yeah, definitely. So that's also a new model for Gigabyte. So this is the Gigabyte RTX 3080 Vision OC. It's aimed more at content creators, professionals, 3D designers and things like that. Of course, you can also use it for gaming, and it's got a nice white and silver aesthetic. It'll look nice with our Vision motherboards as well, which follow the same theme.
Very nice. So what about this absolute gigantic monster? He's making everyone look so tiny in comparison, and he's got 3 8-pin power. Like, what the heck?
Yeah,
like,
so that's actually our flagship card. So that's the Aorus RTX 3080 Extreme. We also have an Aorus Master version as well. It's following a similar cooler design as to this card. It's got a slightly lower clock speed. And then we're taking it one step further with our Aorus cards, which are known as our enthusiast cards. We've got 2 water-cooled versions as well. So we call them the Waterforce. We've got the Waterforce WB, which is the full custom water block version of the graphics card. And then we've also got the normal Waterforce with an all-in-one liquid cooler that has a 240mm radiator.
Alright, so that's all great stuff so far, but I'm just wondering, what's the main difference between Gigabyte cards and Aorus?
So other than the obvious cooler differences between the cards, the main difference lies with the core clock speed that you get out of the box, with the Aorus Extreme model getting the highest clock speed available.
What about aesthetics?
Yeah, so in terms of aesthetics, all of our graphics card models in the RTX 30 series lineup maintain a neutral color scheme. Then with the Gigabyte models, you've got some slight RGB features, mainly around the logos and things like that. Then we ramp it up quite a bit in terms of RGB features on the Aorus model, so you can actually light up around the shroud, inside the shroud, around the fans, all that lights up. And then obviously another standout feature with the Aorus graphics card is the LCD display. We call that the LCD Edge View.
Alright, I'd like to know more about this LCD Edge View and what it can do, because I don't recall seeing it on other graphics cards before. I'm not sure it might be out there, but yeah. What can this stuff do?
Yeah, definitely. So the LCD Edge View on the Aorus graphics cards, you can actually use that to display various GPU and VRAM stats. So you can monitor your temperatures, your core clock speed, the fan speeds, and all those things. Even while you're playing a game, you can display an FPS counter straight on that little display on the graphics card.
Pretty useful.
Yeah,
anything else?
All that you can display during real time, and of course if you get sick of displaying different stats on your graphics card all the time, you can actually use it to put a custom image, you can put a custom text on there, you can use various different fonts, you can also put a moving GIF on there. And then also another standout feature with the Aorus logo, the Falcon. We actually have the Aorus Falcon living inside the graphics card.
Really? Okay.
It's kind of like a little Tamagotchi, so the more you use the graphics card, the more it'll evolve.
Oh damn, I actually remember when I was about 8 and I left my Tamagotchi outside in the rain. It's not really the best memory from my childhood, but hey, I could buy the Aorus Extreme and make up for it and have a Tamagotchi built into my graphics card. So how about now you give us a bit of an overview of the cooling situation on each of these cards?
Yeah, of course. So let's talk about all the cooling improvements that we've made with the RTX 30 series generation. So we'll talk about the Gigabyte models first. So they featured our proven WindForce 3X cooling solution. So the Gigabyte models have two 90mm fans and one 80mm fan, with the middle fan is what we call alternate spinning.
Other way.
So it spins in the opposite direction to the two fans on the side. So that's mainly for less air turbulence and also better air pressure on top of the heatsink.
You know, I've actually noticed like pretty much every graphics card now is using the two one way and the one the other way.
Yeah, definitely. So the alternate spinning with the previous generation at Gigabyte, we were actually the first vendor to actually introduce this technology on our graphics cards.
You guys are the OG.
Yeah, definitely. Also, in terms of our fans, we have what we call 3D active fans. So what that means is they provide semi-passive cooling where they don't actually spin when the graphics card is just sitting there idling, or you're just quiet, browsing the internet using low taxing application.
Yeah, that's good.
It'll keep it from dusting up as well, I guess. That's good.
That's true.
Then also what we have is screen cooling, is what we call this extended section that goes beyond the PCB. So that's the heatsink extends beyond the PCB, also again to provide better airflow, have all that airflow flowing through the side of the PCB, so that definitely improves cooling as well. Underneath, there's a large copper base plate. There's 7 composite copper heat pipes, so that spreads the heat to the fins on the heatsink, and that makes direct contact with the GPU and the VRAM underneath as well.
Okay, very nice. So yeah, that sounds pretty solid to me. I've had graphics cards in the past. The cooling was questionable, you know, using a steel plate for the VRAM, not good. So I do use Gigabyte now, and I'm using the 3X one, and just like this, the 2070, and it's really good. I really like it. It runs super cool and quiet. So what about the Aorus? How is its cooling solution different to the Gigabyte cards?
Yeah, so with our Aorus RTX 30 series graphics cards, we actually take the cooling solution even one step further than that to create some of the quietest RTX 30 series graphics cards available on the market, and that's why we have what we call our max covered cooling solution.
Okay.
So with the max covered cooling on the Aorus graphics cards, we actually feature two 115mm fans and one 100mm fan, so they're much larger than on the Gigabyte graphics cards. And another unique feature is, which was similar to previous generation Aorus graphics cards, is the middle fan is slightly recessed lower.
Yeah, it's a bit lower, yeah.
Yep, so that's what allows the two fans on the side to overlap it, and then it removes that dead zone in between the fans there.
Because we got that dead zone on these guys.
Yep, so that's the unique feature.
So there's a good improvement right there, yeah.
Yeah, and then again with our max covered cooling, which is new to 30 series Aorus graphics cards, is what we call the wind claw design on the edges of the heatsink there. That further reinforces the air to make sure that pretty much the entire 100% surface area of the heatsink is covered. So that's what makes our max covered cooling. Then also you have a much larger heatsink surface area as well compared to Gigabyte graphics cards. And then similar underneath is a large copper base plate with 7 composite copper heat pipes. They're slightly larger. Another unique feature with the copper base plate is actually a vapor chamber present on the Aorus graphics card, so that sort of further helps with dissipating heat.
These look a bit angular as well.
Yep, we also feature an angular fin design, so that also further enlarges the heatsink area with that. So that's all those features together is what sort of makes our max covered cooling and giving one of the quietest 30 series cards available.
Sounds like the cooling is more than ample, and all the cards look and sound like pretty interesting designs that I'm sure have been very well thought out by the Gigabyte engineering team. So, is there anything else you'd like to mention about the cards today?
Yeah, just real quick, I want to say that on the Gigabyte Gaming OC and also on the Aorus model, we have a dual BIOS switch. So it comes with an OC mode out of the box, then you have a silent mode that you can switch to as well.
That's useful.
And then furthermore, on the Aorus graphics card, we've got 6 display outputs, so it's got 3 HDMI and 3 display ports. You can only use 4 of the displays at the same time, but still that gives users a ton of options with display outputs.
So there it is, guys. That's Alex's quick breakdown of the Gigabyte and Aorus RTX 30 series offerings. If you'd like to find out more about any of the graphics cards talked about today, then you're more than welcome to check out the links we've provided below this video. That's all from me. Anything else, Alex?
No, that's pretty much it. You've summed it all up nicely. Just want to say a huge thanks for having me here today. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something as well.
No problem. Thanks for coming by. That's a wrap, guys. I'll catch you all again in the next video. See ya.